Hi guys, Kaze here. Welcome back. We're back with Ending B, or Ending 2, whichever you want to call it. We're back. We've sealed up the underworld, and we spent a night in the cave with Masamune. And let's see how this ending goes compared to the last one. So, let us go. Everything had ended, and I fell asleep for a bit. I had a dream. The small demon was dancing with his chest in a pale white haze. Hadn't you returned to the underworld? The small demon laughed and suddenly turned around. Did your wish come true? Did you think it had come true? Well, yes, of course I did. Didn't it? The whole underworld had been sealed. The demons couldn't come here anymore. Our community was saved. Let me see. Is that really the truth? What did he mean? Have you really wished to save your country? Of course. That's what I had meant to do. The small demon shy went further away. I didn't want it to go. But what had it meant? Hey. My heart was dancing wildly. My heartbeats were pulsing through my body. My hand was reaching out in front of me, just like I had done in the dream. It was just a dream. Still, it had some sort of meaning behind it. Did your wish come true? Did you think it had come true? Why had I seen that dream now? My wish was to save the people, the castle, and the nation. At least, that's what I meant to wish. But was he trying to tell me it was something else? When words entered my ears, I suddenly remembered Masamune. Masamune? No one else was in the cave where we had slept in last night. The sunlight leaking through the tree trunks was proof the night had passed. The fire had burned out, but the ash was still warm when I touched it. Had he gone to see what was going on outside? It was like I had said it to convince myself. Masamune, where are you? My voice reached the outside, but it just echoed. No one replied. I suddenly became frightened. It can't be. Had he gone back? Had his memories returned? Had he gone back to his world? I'll be by your side. I'll never leave you. Even after you said that to me. Masamune! I prowled around the area while calling his name. The forest was still. No one replied. From time to time, I heard the footsteps of small animals. That was it. Masamune, where are you? After a little while of walking around, I finally stopped. Before I knew it, I was crying like a little girl. Masamune. I at least wanted to say goodbye. I wanted to etch his voice and face into my mind. Maybe this was my divine punishment for tricking those men and making them fight. I didn't think everything would end so soon. Masamune. I couldn't walk anymore. At this rate, I was going to pass away. When I got into the floor and covered my face, I heard someone stepping on the shrubs. Masamune? Yeah, that's right, it's me, Masamune. I lifted my head, and the first thing I saw was a dirty sandal and a dirt-filled toenail. I looked further, I saw a bearded man with dirt on his face smirking. But behind him, two similar-looking men came out. Oh, there's someone here. Yeah, she's quite the pretty woman. Oh my, well. Men slowly surrounded me. I stood up and stepped back and glared at them. What country are you men from? Do you know who I am? When they heard that, they looked at each other and smiled with yellow, crooked teeth. We're not from any country. This girl's talking like a princess. No, she might actually be from the princesses, she might actually be a princess from one of the countries destroyed by this war. Wasn't there gossip of royalty barely escaping death? One of the men got on his knees in front of me and lifted my kimono. Wow, these are some nice clothes. This is silk, isn't it? We could sell it, and the girl is covering up a lot of money, can't we? What? With what? With that kimono and the girl inside it, we can live in luxury for a while. They wanted to sell it for a lot of money. They wanted to sell me? It took me a while to understand what had been going on. I understood what they said and became violent when they came upon me. You scoundrels! Don't touch me with your tainted hands! I took my kimono back from its hands. Stand back! You think people like you are allowed to touch me? As I spoke, I put my hand in my bosom, but the dagger's gone. I was right. I returned it to the underworld. I opened my eyes wide. I thought I could use it as a weapon at least. I bit my lip and ran away. I couldn't win against 3 wandering warriors unarmed. One man was fast as a monkey came in front of me. I immediately changed directions, but there was another man waiting there. When I turned around, the last man had grabbed my arm. Before we sell her off, why don't we try her out for ourselves? He violently threw me on the ground, and the man that caught me soon climbed on top of me. Okay, this is not a very happy ending, is it? Hey, wait, will you wait for a second? We have to decide who goes first. What are you yapping about? I'm the one who found and captured her. I go first. I'm the one who initially heard her voice. While they were arguing, I scratched the face of the man who was on top of me. Gah! He put a hand on his face and bent backward. I tried to run in that moment, but this broth thinks she's feisty. He stabbed his scarab into my belly. I felt nausea from the pain and vomit. I endured the pain, but one of the men smirked and grabbed my face. The moaning man pushed me down. This girl needs to be punished a little. Ah! My kimono was pulled open. A filthy hand was now touching my skin. It was completely different from the Masamune's gentle touch. No! She looks great. Her skin is like silk, isn't it? Let me go, you brute. I didn't want this to happen. I'd rather bite off my tongue than endure the shame. But before I die, I wanted to have one more glance. Just one more glance of him. Masamune! I screamed at the top of my lungs. It was an intense sound. I saw a deer or a horse rushing over, and the next thing I saw was the wide eyes of the man on top of me. His tongue came out of his gaping mouth. Immediately after, blood flowed out. His body shook and fell over, and after I had been showered with the warm blood, I shrunk and held my breath. The person who had appeared behind the dead man was Masamune? The sun shining behind him. I'd never seen Masamune like this before. Okay, this looks like an actual picture from an anime. Like, seriously. Oh, what? His eyes carried a strong light. Seeing him expressionless was scarier than seeing him angry. It was like his thin, tight body was giving him an aura of invisible. It was like his thin, tight body was giving off an aura of visible anger. Masamune grabbed the fallen man's hair and threw him on the ground with like a piece of Masamune grabbed the fallen man's hair and threw him on the ground like a piece of trash. You maggot! Who do you think you're doing? Anyway, Scratch pulled out his sword and came at Masamune. Without changing his expression, Masamune dodged his blade and stabbed his stomach. Masamune kicked it and pulled out his blade and then cut his head clean off. Ooh, he's pissed. His movement had become slick and had no sign of hesitation. The man screamed and soon died. The third man turned around and tried to run away. However, Masamune seized the man's hair quickly. He pulled him back and bent his neck. Without a second thought, he slit the man's throat. Wow, it just got very bloody. Very fast. Blood gushed out in an arc. I think it's pitiful to kill them so quickly. Holy. Oh boy. I kind of want to say it's like a really weird, bad ending. Oh my god. His voice was deep and monotone. I remembered something Yukimura told me long ago. I was afraid he might mistake me for a demon and shoot me. I was scared being next to him. This is what he had meant. It was my beloved's face on the battlefield, a ferocious form of a military commander. I couldn't get any words out of my mouth. It wasn't because I was scared. It was because I was in awe. Masamune let a soft sigh, then slowly turned toward me. His face had his usual smile on, even though he had just slaughtered those men. Okay, don't piss off the honey. Never piss him off. He got on his knees in front of me. Sorry for leaving you on your own. I'm sure you were scared. He slowly got closer and hugged me with his powerful arms. Oh, he had come back to me. Masamune. I clung to his chest with all my strength. I washed the blood off me in a nearby riverbed. We then rode on a horse he had found somewhere. You were sleeping so soundly, so I went to check on surroundings for a bit. It took longer than I thought. This might sound strange, but Masamune had stopped talking and gazed at me. I couldn't find the castle. The castle? Yeah, and, he scratched his head and frowned like he had a hard time finishing. I can't say it very well, but why was I serving you at your castle? I'm the head of the Date clan, so why would I be serving the Oda clan? Hadn't Lord Nobunaga died already? Are you his relative, Kaze? I just don't know anymore. What in the world had I been doing up till now? I felt strange listening to his words. He had returned to his former self, and yet he was still by my side. But you remember everything about me? He answered my question as if it had been obvious. Of course I do. Who would forget their own wife? Oh, but now that you mention it, he put his hands on my chin. I have a feeling I'd seen a strange dream. A dream? Yeah, I remember that I was the Date clan's leader in that dream, but when I remembered, I was worried about the castle. Then someone asked to take me away. And then I just said this, but I said I couldn't leave my cute wife behind. Masamune might have talked to the small demon. Maybe I was with him now because he had said he couldn't leave me behind. Hey, do you know what happened? Everything happened for a reason, but it'll take a long time to explain it all. Is that so? He frowned, but then he nodded calmly. It's just like him to do that. In that case, tell me about it after we get something to eat. I'm sure you're hungry too. We'll be there soon, so hang on. Where are we going? Over there. Somebody pointed to something that looked like a castle. It was completely different from my castle. That's my castle. Oh my. I had a feeling it happened, but it looked like I had come to another world. I was sure this was the place Masamune had come from. It was different from my country. It was somewhere far away. It apparently had its own convenient cave. A million things were going through my head. The handmaiden had taken my place, waiting for me, the vassals that had served me, the tired faces of the civilians that had taken refuge in the castle. Everyone, I'm sorry. In my mind, I bowed my head to all the people I had left behind. I couldn't check to see if they were safe. All I could do now was pray. All I could do was carry that pain as I lived on. As I lived on in this unknown world with the man I loved. If he hadn't been with me, I would have been dead. When we get to the castle, I'll make a feast with your favorite dishes. He had a carefree smile on his face. Okay, I'm looking forward to it. I put my face on his chest so he couldn't see me cry. Okay. Well, yay! Now we're going on to epilogue, so cool. That was definitely different. It's like, holy crap. That got brutal. My spirit will go on. 1 year had passed. I had a similar life in this new world. A few things were different, and I thought they were weird, but I was now used to living here. I'm glad the food and clothes aren't very different. If they had been completely different, I'm sure I would be confused. At first, people looked at me like I was some country bumpkin that I had begun fitting in. At first, people had looked at me like I was some country bumpkin, but I had begun fitting in of late. I had my share of hardships, but I took them as punishment for abandoning everyone. For Masamune, today I was going on a long trip with him. It had been a long time since we had walked in the forest together. Sorry, Kaze. I've been busy. It's okay. As head of the household, it's only natural to be busy. When he had spare time, I knew he'd come to visit me. Yeah, and Kaze, we might not be able to see each other for a while. There's another war? Masamune nodded deeply. Yeah, they told me all about it. Yeah, they told me to go all the way out to Odawara. I'll have to make a quick visit. It might be a long journey. You might get lonely. But wait for me. No. I smiled cheerfully. I'll polish my archery skills while I wait. That way, I'll be able to go fight for two. That way, I'll be able to go with you to fight. Masamune blinked rapidly. Are you trying to be like Tomoya Gonzen? I don't want to wait idly doing nothing. The war here seems like it will continue for a long time. It was my turn to save Masamune after he saved me so many times. Plus, from time to time, I remembered. Had you really wished to save your country? It might have been different. When I had been attacked by demons in that burning castle, I had thought this. I hadn't wanted to be alone. I had wanted to die alone. If that had been my wish, then it made sense why I was here now. From the start, I'd wished to be with someone. Masamune. I looked up at the sky. I could faintly see the illusions of smoke from the battle. I'm sure a battle is happening today as well. We're in a world of conflict. He was right. The battles here were fiercer than the ones in my world. Seems like the ones from the hold to the underworld were repeatedly happening here. Yet, I didn't mind. I continued living on in this world together with him, even if it led us down a road of carnage. The end. I don't know. See, my favorite ending, I'd probably have to go with, I think would be the first one. That was like friggin' sweet. I think anyway. Yeah. That one was sweet. They were all sweet, really. They all ended well. Alright guys, well thank you for hanging in there and enjoying this video. The next video will be of the extras, which will include the sequel, the date scenario, and of course we'll look over the gallery together. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye. Kaze out.